Hello, my name is Mary Modine. I'm the Associate Dean International, and I'm here with two of my colleagues to discuss the course that is the MSc in Animation and VFX. So first of all, I'd like to introduce Sharon Campbell, and then also to introduce Leanne Douglas. So Sharon, I'm going to ask you questions first.
Okay.
Um, I'd like to ask you questions about this animation VFX. So first of all, if I'm pretending to be somebody who has no connection to the university and looking at this, I think, ooh, animation's great. What's VFX?
Oh, VFX is visual effects.
Is it purely technical or is it like a whole important part of the course?
It is a very important part of the course, and I think all animation and VFX have some degree of technical expertise, but also and mainly it is creative. Yeah.
Oh, great. Okay. So if I'm doing a master's level course, which this one is, it's 12 months. Is that right?
Yeah, so it would start in September and go all the way through to the following August.
Great, perfect. That's fairly short time to do animation. I know that animation takes quite a long time to do. Is it possible to get some great results in the space of just 1 year?
It is. I think, yes, you're right. Animation does take a very, very long time to do, especially if you are animating um, characters or if you're animating in 2D, which is a lot of hand-drawn work. Because as you know, animation is 25 frames per second. So it could be as much as 25 images or drawings for every second. But what we like to do is have students specialize within a particular role within the animation pipeline. So, for example, if you come to the course having done an undergrad degree in animation, then you might want to hone in with your animation skills, and you would be working with other students who come with different sort of specialisms. For example, there might be students who come having quite a good grasp or expertise in character design or character modeling, and perhaps you would team up with them and animate their character. So that means that you're focusing on a smaller part of the pipeline, and not necessarily having to do the whole thing. So this allows you more time to focus on the skills that you want to develop further. It
Oh,
is a
that's
very large, there's a very large pipeline which goes all the way from the beginning, sort of concepts, ideas of stories, through to development work where you're developing character design, storyboarding, background art, and then creating the characters and creating the backgrounds, then doing the animation, and then finally the sort of lighting and the compositing and the finishing it off. So there are many different aspects of an animated film that you can contribute to. Some students do choose to do their own animated films, the whole thing by themselves, and we will be very supportive of that, but we recognise that that is a very large task. And it could be that we will only ask you to do a portion of that because we want to help you develop your skills so that you are industry ready, or if there are the goals that you have in mind, that you're really focusing and honing in those specific skills. So the objective is not necessarily to create films, especially by yourself, but to develop those skills in a more at a higher level.
That's really great. I'm really interested, and I have had an art undergraduate study before, but I haven't had a lot of experience in animation. Would that mean that I'm really not qualified to apply for your course?
No, not necessarily. We do have students that come to the course having done perhaps illustration degrees, or perhaps more sort of computing based degrees, like computer arts, for example. And the skills are very transferable that you will have. Again, it might not be that you'd be able to produce a film by yourself, but you could certainly contribute with the skills that you have and learn more about the pipeline while you're doing it. We have had students that have come in with no knowledge of animation and have really been able to pick up the principles of animation quite quickly, to develop small pieces of animation that demonstrate their skills. And again, that's what we will encourage you to do, just to focus on something small, not to want to do like a feature film or anything like that, because that's not achievable at any great quality. But it is essentially something small and of good quality that we're looking for.
That sounds great. You used the term before, industry-led or linked to industry. Does that mean that your students go straight into jobs?
Very often, yes. We do what we call a live brief in the second semester, which is the January to March semester, where we work with the studio. This year we're working with Dupe VFX, who are down in London, and they will set a brief using some of their archive material or some of their current material, and the students will take part in a brief which is giving them that experience of what it would be like to work in an industry. They then give them feedback, so they're getting industry professional feedback, and I think that whole process really allows them to understand what industry is looking for, but also just to become a bit more comfortable talking to people from industry, because quite often there's this gap and they feel a little bit frightened of actually approaching studios and talking to these people, but just realizing that they're just people like everyone else, and it gives them a little bit of a network to start with, which can be really helpful in finding your first job. We'd also do studio tours in normal years. Like in previous years, the groups have gone down to London and have visited a few VFX houses. This year, obviously, we can't do that, but we will be engaging with industry in different ways, inviting them in to critique our work and just to make content.
That's really exciting. That's really exciting. Well, I'm an international student. Would I be acceptable in your course?
Oh God, of course you would be. We have many international students. This year we have students from India and Pakistan and China, and there's somewhere else I can't remember at the moment, but we have a lovely cohort, and it's so nice to see the different experiences that all of these students bring with them. Their own culture and their own influences are really, really interesting when it comes to the class discussions that we have and the range of work that they come with, and the ideas that they come with. So it really does sort of bring a richness to the course that we wouldn't have if it was just Scottish students. It would be a very bland course. So yes, please do come. We would love to have you.
Okay, that sounds very encouraging. So now, how do I apply?
That is a very good question. If you go onto the website, you'll see a part of the MSc Animation VFX page that has information about applying.
Okay, that's great. Leanne, if I have problems, especially because sometimes, working as an international student, I don't always understand exactly the terms or what's being asked for. Could you help me?
Absolutely, yeah. So we have the admin team based in Duncan of Jordanston, and if there's any questions that you have, then you're welcome to get in touch with us about the application process, and if it's about the course itself, then we can pass your quiz on to the relevant person to help.
That sounds fabulous. It's so exciting. Well, we all look forward to applications, and we would love to see you folks who are listening just now. We'd love to see you come to Dundee in Scotland. Thanks very much. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.